Hey class, this is Mrs. Lynn. Welcome to another week of remote learning. I hope you guys had a great weekend with your families and that you got to enjoy some of the sun that we had this weekend. So, this week we're starting our last unit for the school year on research. Now, research is just a fancy word for looking up information or finding information that you might be wondering about, like maybe on something you're curious about or that answers some sort of question that you have. As you get older, as you move through the different grades in school, you'll be doing a lot more research. And I know in second grade we do a animal research project in computers class where you get to do research on an animal, and then you make a book about that animal. In third grade, you're going to be doing research on a president for Mrs. O's class, but also we do something in computer class where you have to research well-known Michigan products. So it's a good idea to start learning about how to do research, even though you might not be doing those kind of projects just yet. So, anyways, on the homework page, I posted a link to this page that you see in front of you right now. It's on the K5 technology curriculum website that I've been using with you. If you have to log in, remember the login user ID is Mrs. Lynn, all lowercase, no spaces, and then the password is GA. Okay. If you need help logging in, you can always ask your parents, or you can have them email Mrs. Lynn. All right, so on this page, there's four different activities that I'm going to walk through with you, and they're all about the research process. So in this first little activity, we're going to talk about the steps for research. So, and again, research usually starts with a question that you have or something you're curious about. So these are the four steps. They're not in order, and it's our job and actually your job to put them in order for me. All right, so let's go through the four different choices here. The first one is search for information or look for information. The second one is organize information. So taking what information you have gathered and organize them in a way that's helpful to you. And then choose a topic and present and share that information. Okay. Um, so, what do you guys think the first step for research is? So, let's say you have a question. What do you think is the first thing to do is? All right. If you said choose topic, you would be correct, right? The first step to any research is to choose your topic. Know what question you're asking or have something that you're curious about before you can start researching on that topic. So the first step is to choose a topic. All right, what do you guys think the next step would be? Okay, if you said search for information, you would be correct. So before we can organize any information or share information with others, we have to like search for them, right? Or search for facts. So where are some places where you can look for information? Well, you can look in books for information. We've talked a lot about informational or nonfiction books in library. So if you're looking for information, for example, on lions, you can go into a book about lions and look up information there. Um, Remember, if you're doing research, you're most likely going to be using nonfiction or informational books, right? Because those are the kind of books that give you facts. So books is a great place to start when you have a question that you want answered. Um, Now, another place that kids use a lot today to look up information is on the internet, right? So you probably seen older siblings do this or your parents. If they have the question about something, maybe about lions or if they're looking for information about um, where to shop for certain things, they can go on the internet and Google that question. Okay, so there's a lot of different places that you can look for information. You might even look up a video, kind of like what you're doing right now. You're watching or listening to a video that's giving you information about research, right? So, videos on YouTube or videos that your teachers are posting, those are also another source of information. Okay, so that's the second step. Once you have a topic or a question you're asking, you can look for information at different places. And then the next step, once you have gathered some facts, would be to organize those facts, okay, so that you can understand the information that you have gathered. Okay, so if we go back to the example of lions, when you're looking in a book or reading in a book about lions, you might find all sorts of different facts about where they live and maybe what they eat, their just behavior, and all that kind of things. You might also have facts on how they look. Um, and things like that. So, organizing those facts into a package that you can understand. That's the third step to research. And then the last step, once you have chosen a topic, looked for information on that topic, organized and understood that topic or the information you have gathered, the last step is to share your knowledge or share your facts. Okay, so as you get older, I know even in second grade, third grade, when we do a research project in computers class, there is always a um, activity where you share that information, whether it's making an animal book on the computer or um, doing a presentation for your classmates in class. If you ever been to a third grade president's report, you know how they present about their presidents in the hallway. Well, that's a way to share what they've learned with other people. Okay, so those are the four steps of research. I'm going to go ahead and reset the activity so that when you come to this website, you can try to do this on your own. Okay, so the next step, once you have started your research, you're going to learn something about keywords. And these are things that you might type into Google in order to find answers to your question, or these are words that you might look for in a book in order to find your question. Okay, so or answer to your question. So in this example, we're gonna try to learn about kangaroos. So, if you have a question about what kangaroos eat, what are some of the words that you would be looking for typing into Google in order to get the answers to that? Okay, so here are the choices. You can have kangaroo habitat. That means habitat is some basically the place where you can find that animal. It's the living um, place, right? Place of living. Kangaroo life cycle. Okay, kangaroo facts, or kangaroo food. So, given that these are your four choices, if your question was, what do kangaroos eat? What would be the keywords that you type into Google or look up in your book? Okay, if you said kangaroo food, you would be correct. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag kangaroo food into that box. Okay, the second question you might have about kangaroos is, where do kangaroos live? Okay, so again, looking at our three remaining choices, which one would make the most sense to type into Google or to look up in your book? Okay, I hope you said kangaroo habitat. Habitat is the place where you might find something. Okay, and then so on. I'm actually not going to complete this activity for you, but because I want you to be able to do some of this on your own. Okay, so I'm going to again reset my game board so that when you go in, you can do this activity on your own. And then that's actually all we're going to do for this week. We're going to do 2 slides. Make sure you understand these 2 activities really well. And on the game or on the homework site, I'm going to actually also post a file with 2 additional but similar slides for you to complete. And that way you can show me that you understand you understood what we have just talked about. All right, so that's it for this week. If you have any questions, make sure you have your mom and dad email me and I can answer them through email, or we can have a Zoom meeting if that works better for you. And remember, we don't meet on Friday because it's teacher training day. So I will see you next week.